So why do we need 3 measures of center? So I'll ask you to think about this. Let's say we have 3 data sets, A, B, and C. In the first data set, let's see, we're going to say that these are departure delays for a flight. And maybe this is flight 187 from Atlanta to LaGuardia that leaves every day at 10 a.m. And so for 2 weeks we've been tracking the departure delays, and on some of these days the flight actually leaves early or on time, so there are no delays, and on some days there are brief delays. Maybe other times they're a little bit longer, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So that's 2 weeks worth. They're in order. For a second data set, we have home prices, and this is going to be in thousands of dollars. Last month, for zip code 30308, so in Midtown Atlanta. So we have a listing of all the homes that were sold last month, and maybe one of them sold for 247. Again, that would be 247,000. Maybe one went for 296, and we had a 320. Let's see, I'll keep these in order. 349, 370, 399, 425, 469, 550, and then we had this would be 1.8 million, so 1,800,000, and we'll just stop there. And for our third data set, I have test scores, and these are for some standardized test, and maybe the scores are 37, 43, 51, 60, 64, 65, 66, 70, 71, 71, 72, 75, 80, 80, 82, 89, and we'll just stop there. So if you had to pick one measure of center to describe what was typical or common or normal about either departure delays, home prices, or test scores, which measure of center would you use for each of these data sets? So there's not one necessarily a right answer here, but let's think. What are the advantages of using the mean here? Well, I can think of one actual disadvantage. So this has an extreme value. There's 127 minutes. Seems extreme compared to the other values here. So I would think maybe the mean would not be the best value here. It would actually be inflated by this one high value. As far as the median, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The median would be 1.5. So that would mean, half the flights depart within a minute or less of their scheduled time, and half the flights depart more than a minute after their departure time. So that's kind of helpful. But one thing to notice here is that there's this a lot of well, there are several repetitions for 0. In fact, because for almost half the time, 6 out of the 14, the flight departs either on time or early. So I think in this case we might choose the mode to describe what is typical. For home prices, I have some values, a lot of them, in the ranging from 250 to 550, but we have an extreme value. Now, there aren't any repeating values. I think in this case, since I have this extreme value which would skew the mean, I think I might choose the median here. And in fact, the median is commonly used to describe home prices. And then for these standardized test scores, this might be a case where I would use the mean. Usually standardized test scores have a bell-shaped distribution, and so the mean is a nice summary of something that is standardized like that. There aren't any extreme values, and we don't have a lot of repetitions here, so this might be a good place to use the mean.